Hey friends, it's just like a real chill energy in the city today. I think because it's a little gray outside, and also I got maybe 4 hours of sleep last night, just really had a hard time getting my mind to settle down. And also it's been really warm in my apartment these days now that the temperature has risen here in Copenhagen. Might have to purchase a fan here soon because if you live in Europe, you know central air conditioning isn't really a thing. At least it's not really common in most living spaces, which usually I'm happy about because I am generally very cold. And in my last apartment in Atlanta, Georgia, my husband and I had some disagreement about how high the air conditioning should be at night. I must admit it is a little warm at night here. Might have to purchase a fan soon. So because I'm a little tired and because it's a little gray, I'm feeling really zen right now. And feeling a little tired after 2.5 hours of Danish class. So after class, I decided to reward myself with a little pick-me-up. And I tried out this cafe called Fred's. And I wanted to try their strawberry foam matcha. Have to admit it wasn't my favorite matcha. I think I just prefer my matcha plain. At this point, I've tried lavender matcha and now strawberry matcha. I'm glad I tried it, but I think I've confirmed that I am just a matcha purist. Usually at this time, I would start my Danish homework since my next class is in 2 days. However, because I know the caffeine is going to wear off in a moment and I won't be able to focus on homework, I decided that I should have some fun with my Danish today. Lately, I have been language bathing, which is a term that I've been using to describe the way I've been immersing myself in the Danish language. Actually, one of you inspired that term for me. I don't remember which video it was, but I got the comment that I should bathe myself in the language. And I read that and I thought, I really like that imagery of bathing myself in the language. Because unlike saying I'm immersing myself in the language, which is very active, bathing implies that I'm just letting the language kind of wash over me, or I'm just soaking myself in the language. It's really more passive and more relaxed. Bathing implies that there's not this urgency or force behind it. You're just letting the language be what it is and just kind of accepting it into yourself. So whoever you were that wrote that comment, thank you. You have truly inspired my new approach to learning Danish. And since I've been language bathing, it has accelerated my learning. So today I wanted to share with you 3 ways that I have been bathing myself in the Danish language. The first way has been by reading Danish books. Now I figured the best way to bathe myself would be to just incorporate Danish in my regular everyday activities. Reading is a very huge part of my life. It has been for as long as I can remember. I love books so much that I remember as a child, I used to ask my mom to take me to the bookstore on my birthday. So I've been having a lot of fun with reading in Danish. Like I've shared with you a few videos ago, I have been reading this book, Farlige Løgne, means dangerous lies. It's kind of like a crime thriller kind of book. I can't honestly say it's been pulling me in as much as I had anticipated, but that is also because it's just taking me a while to get through it. And that just kind of takes away some of the momentum of the storyline. But I'm still having a really great time with this book. I've learned so many words that I've added to my vocabulary, words that we have not touched on in class yet. It's a little embarrassing, but I'm only on page 39, and I've had this book for over a month now, maybe even 2 months. So it's definitely taking me a while to get through this one. I've taken many breaks. When I do pick this book up, I try to get through at least 3 to 4 pages. And I'm not putting a lot of pressure on myself with this one. I'm just picking it up when I feel like it, and that takes the pressure off. I'm not putting any time limits on when I should finish it by. If I finish this one in the next 4 months, I will be very proud of myself. And even if I don't, I'll still be proud that I have been willing to try reading this big, thick book. Although this book is far and above my current understanding, just by pushing through this text, I have gained so many new words. One other book that I am actually going to start today, It or I Paris. Or would it be Paris? How do you pronounce Paris in Danish? See, already, just from the title alone, I'm gonna learn from this book. This is a book that I checked out from my language school. My teacher allowed us to select a book that is at a beginner level, but written for adults. So it's not a children's book, but the language is very basic. And just by flicking through the pages, I can tell it's going to be pretty manageable for me at my level. There's a few words here and there that are unfamiliar, but for the most part, I can understand the text. And there's not that much text. It's a really thin book, very few words. So it's not intimidating at all. I don't feel overwhelmed by the thought of reading this. I think I can press through it in a day or so. So I'm going to start this one today. The second thing I've been doing to bathe myself in the language is I've been watching Danish reality TV shows. I've currently been watching Gift ved første blik, which is the Danish version of Married at First Sight, if you're familiar with the US or UK version. Back when I lived in the US, this was a show that I'd watch all the time. Sometimes I just like a show that's just easy watching, and it's always an interesting concept just to see strangers try to make a marriage work. So because it's a show that I enjoyed in English, I knew I would enjoy the Danish version. And I just really highly recommend watching television in the language you're learning, because I think it's important to learn how people actually speak. It's one thing to take a class and learn the proper version of a language. That's important. But we know even with our own native languages that how we would write a formal letter and how we would speak to our friends is very different. And so I've been learning a lot of really interesting phrases, and I've learned some surprising ways that people use the words that kind of go against what I've been learning in class. For instance, the word lekker. Lekker means delicious. However, in Gift ved første blik, people use lekker to describe many different things. They'll say, your apartment is lekker. An item of your clothing is lekker. At first, I was a little confused. After seeing this word pop up a few times, I realized from the context that you can use this word many different ways. It just kind of means something's nice or pretty or good. And that's just one example of many. I've been learning so many slang terms and just little phrases that people use often, and it's just been really eye-opening. The final way I've been bathing myself in language is by watching Danish news. Now, I've been consuming Danish news a number of different ways. Now that my iPhone has picked up that I live in Denmark and that I've been consuming Danish media, it's been feeding me news stories. Just comes up as soon as I open Google. So I'll often just click on a news story or a little video link. But my favorite way to consume news is by going on to the TV2 Cosmopol Instagram page. I was made aware of TV2 when I was actually featured on the channel. They did a profile on my experience making friends in Denmark. So if you're interested in that story, it's up on the TV2 Cosmopol Instagram page, and I'll actually post the link for it in the description box below. But I really enjoy the fact that the TV2 news stories are just about everyday people and their experiences in the city. And the most important thing is that all of their news stories have Danish subtitles. If you've been learning Danish as an adult, you know the written language and the spoken language sometimes feel like two completely different languages. So getting to see the language while listening to it kind of fuses the two together in my mind. Now I associate the words with the sound of the language. So that has been a very crucial tool for me. So yeah, those things have greatly accelerated my Danish learning. And I highly recommend those methods to anyone that's learning any language. Just make the language a part of your daily activities. A lot of it's not going to make sense at first, and that's okay. You will be surprised at how much your brain is subconsciously picking up the language. I realized this when we actually took a practice test last week in my Danish class, and we had to read a passage in Danish and then answer some questions about the passage. And I thought it was so easy. Because I'd been reading all this really difficult text, when I was confronted with a text that was on my level, it was nothing to me. And I ended up getting all the answers correct, and it was a good feeling. All right, so now you know what I'll be doing for the rest of the day, in addition to the mountains of work that I have to do for my actual job. I can pop on my Danish show in the background and learn while I'm working. I am heading out to a little meeting in, actually don't know which part of town. I only know how long it will take for me to get there. I'm having this meeting at a cafe that I've never been to before. Copenhagen is chock full of amazing cafes, so I'm always excited to check out a new one. And I just love it when business mixes with pleasure. It's kind of a gray day. There's like little peaks of sunlight in the sky, so it's a nice day for biking through the city because it's not too hot. So yeah, that's what I am doing this morning. Working on lots of new things. I say that in a lot of my vlogs, but all will be revealed by next month, so stay tuned. Let's go!